Hello my friends, thanks for joining me for another hashtag swap and glue. This packet of papers comes from not only my friend, but the creator of hashtag swap and glue, and that is Carol of Carol's Recrafted Boutique. She has sent me a couple of copies of her jelly printing, which is gorgeous, and I don't know if I want to use it in a journal or if I want to use it in the swap and glue, but let's take a look. Let's see what we've got here. Let's turn these long ways so that you can see them all the way. Look at how, well, let me remove the sticker. Look at how beautiful it is, you guys. Didn't she do a beautiful job on this? I think she did. Oh yeah, I love it. And then there's one in like purples and blues. I love it. Yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. Oh, very summery, some nice orange and blue and a little bit of yellow. And then look at these with the gears. Isn't it great? It's so great. Thank you for those, Carol. They're beautiful. I love them. So let's take a quick look. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I opened up a package from her recently, this all came in a Happy Mail with some other goodies, and I really had to restrain myself and keep myself from looking because you know, I didn't want to get sidetracked, and I like to keep it fresh so I can be, put my collages together spontaneously. So of course, you know, I love birds. So for now, that's going to go over here on to the right, and we're going to see if, see what strikes me today and see what we might want to swap and glue with. And my friend Carol, she has such a sense of humor when she does her swap and glue, well, all of her collaging actually, and she adds so much humor into it. And that is something I have been striving to do, is add a little humor, because I love the way she does that. I think it's wonderful. And, that's something I'd like to practice too. Look at the beautiful countryside. Oh, that is gorgeous. And she knows too, like she sends me these things with like history in it, and I have to read it before I can tear into it, because I love history and I love learning about all these different things. So someday I'm going to fly over there to the UK, and Carol is going to take me around. Oh Lord, I have to use that. She's going to take me around and show me around and all that good stuff. And I have some ancestors that come from there, so she'll be able to, I'll send her like a list. Sorry, Carol, I already have our trip planned. I'll send her a list of like, places where they lived and whatnot, and then she can see if it's close enough by. This is beautiful for us to take a trip and check it out. I'd like to get photography. I'd like to put it in my family tree, that sort of thing. Oh, I recognize her, I believe. She's an actress, I'm pretty sure. She's been in a lot of stuff. She was in James Bond movies. Ooh, look at the birds. Oh my gosh, no. Do you guys see this? These swans are making a heart with how they're putting their heads together. That is beautiful. So I'm not putting that in my humorous one, but I will definitely use that for something else. Oh, look at these. Oh, these are pretty. Might have to save these aside for a journal that I'm gonna do. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Cool images. Very, very cool images. Oh, I love it so much. Oh yeah. Okay, I might have to put this over here. All right, so I saved some of the tissue because sometimes that works great in a collage. Now, she might have given this to me for collage, or she might have given it to me for journaling, and I suppose either way, or she had maybe run into them and set them aside. Oh, look at the little ponies. They're so darn cute. I'm gonna put them over here. And I didn't even check to see what was on the back of that. Okay, we're good. And then we have these cartoon images, so I'm gonna put these over here. Oh, that's really cool. Look at this guy. He's making stuff out of stone. That's amazing. And let me see what we missed. Okay, these are cool. Very nice. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's an apple, you guys. Maybe it's a peach. It's kind of like a peach, but it could be an apple. Does it say? Let me see. It says apple. It's an apple sculpture. Let me just move that over here into the working with pile for today, just to see if I'll move her over too. Oh, and the guy climbing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move him over. Oops, yeah, that's okay. Just in case it provides for something whimsical. All right, so I have chosen this nice clean spread here for this collage. So friends, this cartoon says miniature village, and then there's like these tiny little buildings here, and so I think I'm gonna cut that out, and then we've got these little ponies here, and so maybe we can do something with both of those images. That could be fun. When I was a little girl, I had a pony, and his name was String Along, and that was when my parents were married, and so he was a little funny little guy, and he was black and white. Yeah, I used to ride him, and I was a little girl. And then my parents got divorced, but before we moved from Virginia, my sister and I, so my mom and dad had like a little farmhouse, and they had, it had a barn and everything, so my mom was into horseback riding when she was young, so they had horses and stuff like that, and that's how come I was able to, have a little pony. So then when they got divorced, then of course we moved into an apartment, and they had to not be living in the little white house anymore, and all that kind of stuff. But I think my dad, I don't know, he still had access to the pony String Along for a while. And I remember we went out to the barn that he was at, and I went to ride him, but he hadn't been ridden in a really long time. And like I said, I was really young, and he threw me right off of them. And then I was scared to death to get back on, but then my dad said, you have to get back on. You have to get back on. He said, because if you don't, then you never will. And he was right. He was right to make me get back on him. But I'll tell you what, I did, and my dad had to kind of hold everything together because he was bucking and acting all wild. Wait a minute, I thought there was two ponies. Where'd my other pony go? Hold on, here we go. Oops. So anyway, that's my story about my little pony String Along. I might actually have a picture of me on him. I don't know, but I might. And if I do, then maybe that's something I'll share with you guys someday. All right, so there's our two ponies. There's another tiny one in the background, but he's a little blurry, so I'm not gonna worry about that one. All right, so we have some images cut out here. Let's go ahead, and I'm gonna cut this apple out, but then we're gonna go ahead and start putting our fun collage together. Hopefully it's fun. It won't be, I don't think I have nearly as good of a chance of making it as humorous as Carol makes hers. She just is such a natural of having the eye for it, and it's just fantastic. And I just absolutely love watching her do her collages because they always come out so great. So let's see what we want to do here. Alrighty, so here's what we've got, guys. Here's what we've got to play with. I was thinking that I would put the bird on the apple. So that's one of the ideas that we have. The words we can put wherever we want. Then I have this fantastic badger in a chair having tea, which is just wonderful. We've got another chair, which I really liked, so I pulled that image. And then I just want to show you the images we have. Then we have our ponies, and we also have our little funny cartoon talking about the miniature village. And then I've got some tools over here, and I have a guy that I cut out. And then we got our rock climber, which I love. I swear I thought I saw Carol do something with a rock climber also. And of course it was just fantastic. So how do we want to do this? And it seems to me I might need more images. These are not taking up a ton of room, but let me play with something real quick. I'm gonna pretend the rock climber's been cut out. I'm not gonna cut him out, but I'm gonna pretend, and he could crawl. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So Carol, the guy climbing, he's gonna be climbing on the bird, and this is in honor of you and your wonderful sense of humor, and just know how much I thoroughly appreciate it. So if we're gonna do that, maybe bird and apple go over here. Let's see, I gotta make sure he fits on the apple properly. Let's put some of this on the page. Gonna go ahead and put some background on the page. You'll see some of the edges of this background paper hanging over the edges of the journal page, but I'll trim those later. Guys, if you haven't done swap and glue and you'd like to, leave a comment in the comment section. If this is your first time seeing a swap and glue, welcome. And let me just tell you, it's real easy. We swap images with each other, and you know, not everybody finds magazine images, although I will tell you, you can find them at the thrift store, you can find them at your library. They usually sell their magazines after a certain amount of time. And I picked some up at the library for just, just a few cents. And I've also picked some up at the thrift store for 49 cents. So, you know, you can look around and get cheap ones. Don't go spend money on brand new magazines just to tear them apart. You don't have to do that. The other thing you can do is sometimes you get junk mail. If there's any good images in there, you could use that. You can also go to the thrift store and purchase some books. Books make wonderful swap and glue, you know, usually like children's books. They have great images in them, and you can have a lot of fun with that. So, you know, those are some ideas that you can, you know, find images that way. Also, you know, some of you that create paper crafts, you can, you know, if you have scraps, that's kind of how Carol and I started. Was she thought of the, well, she was in lockdown, and here in Florida we really were not in lockdown, not that much, and she, you know, had just said, oh, you know, I'm low on papers and scraps, and you know, I knew she loved to collage, so I said, well, you know, heck, I'll send you some. So I started sending her some of my scraps, and she, you know, it was just fun. And then she sent me some of her scraps, and then we started, you know, tearing out some, because I wanted to keep her able to do her collaging. So then we started exchanging magazine images, because my friend Lisa with Treasures and Adventures, that's her YouTube channel name, she had gifted me a bunch of magazines. And also my friend Tina from Florida had also gifted me magazines, and I had plenty, and I was more than happy to share. So, you know, I kept sending them to Carol. And actually what I had done, because I wanted to keep her in business, so I had gotten like 10, I don't know, envelopes together and had them all stamped. And then I was mailing them like every other day, just because I wanted her to have, it was bad enough she was in lockdown, so I wanted her to have, you know, the opportunity to go to her mailbox and have mail. Who does not love to have mail in the mailbox? It's just fun, right, guys? So, so I was sending them out like, you know, once a week, every other day, just like, you know, whenever I was going by the post office, I was sending them, and it was a lot of fun. So that's basically how swap and glue started. In case you guys didn't know, that's the story, my friends. And it's a pretty cute story. So there's the guy, he's climbing up the bird. This is in honor of Carol, because this is how she does things. She does it really, you know, humorous, kind of cool things like that. And I love it. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of this on the page. You know, this was just the scraps from the other side, but let's go ahead and put it down. And then my brain can start working on it, right? Okay, so that's given me a little something. Now let me see. So if we look at this page, and it had these cool images on it, and it had this, which reminds me of a hammock. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You know, maybe let's put this, yeah. Let's put the hammock on here, and then maybe I'll put the badger in the hammock. Then we can put our hammock on, but I can see that there's going to be a corner, guys, that would be blank. So let me just fill it in real quick with some of this. Perfect, now I think that'll work great. Yep, so we've got our hammock. So what's going on, you guys? What's going on in your lives? Is everybody doing okay? I know a few of my friends out there are having a few difficulties here and there with a few things. One of our friends is having car troubles, and You know, they're just giving her a fit about it, and I feel terrible for her. But I am happy that it is like summer vacation down here, because then I can start to get my house cleaned up, because, you know, I need to. You guys hear me talk about it all the time, and I talk about it all the time because it's just one of those things hanging over my head. So, but now that I get a little bit of time off of work, I am going to use that time to go ahead and get tidied up. All right, I'm thinking, I love the chair that the Badger's in, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut him out. So anyway, yeah, gonna work on getting the house clean. I mean, as much as I can, right? I mean, yeah, and really it's about, I gotta finish getting organized. So I gotta get my dining room cleaned up. Plus we're putting new floors in pretty soon. And so all the stuff I just put in my family room is gonna have to be moved out. Now let's see if he fits in his hammock. I think he does fit in his hammock. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue him down. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put some new floors in the family room because, you know, basically the floors are really old. I had put them in myself a long time ago. And, you know, we've been in this house for 20 years, so it's time to redo them. So I'm gonna have to empty out the family room, so that's gonna be quite the job. But it'll be really nice when it's done. So, you know, I guess I'm looking forward to it. It's just gonna be a really big deal to do it. Just, oh my gosh, moving all that stuff out of there, holy cannoli. You know, it's just part of the process, right? It's part of what we have to go through when we're redoing stuff. And I can't complain. I mean, I'm grateful that we're able to go ahead and, you know, start fixing some things up. That's really nice to be able to do that. Oops, I just tore a leg off of it. Dag nabbit. Well, I could always glue, you know, I'll make it like a tray. So it's a tray that's sitting in the hammock with him. Yeah, that's what it is now. That's what we're doing. Here we go. Well, that fixed that problem. Got a little tray of tea there. So he's hanging out in the hammock and chilling out. And so that's awesome. Let me fussy cut this chair a little bit more and see if I think that works for us. All right, friends, so we're gonna just go ahead and we're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna work with these images that we have, and we're just gonna put them on the paper and see how they turn out. And that's how that's gonna be. So I like this image here. So we're gonna put this one here. So it's got this little guy on top of this mountain. Then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna nail this chair down. Now I like the placement of it, so I'm gonna hold it in place, put some glue down, and hopefully that is the good spot for it. Now we'll come over here and we'll do the seat of it and then the legs, so hopefully. All right, now before I get into putting this here, I better decide what's happening here in the center. I could have the horse, let's pretend he didn't have legs, he could sit in the chair. Yeah, it just doesn't look right though. We could have this guy's head just sitting on the chair, that's possible. We could have tools here, but actually the tools should go over here because the tools are what helped to create this apple. This is kind of a nice color paper. Let's go ahead and use some of this paper to cover that space. So I don't want to cover the apple all the way. I just wanted to add a little color here. So what I'm going to do is I've glued up to the apple, and now I'm going to try to tear around it. And we'll see how I do. I'm just using my thumbnail to make the shape. And we did pretty good. I could have taken more off, but I think it's pretty good where it is. So that little scrap is going to go perfectly right here. Whoops. Perfectly right here, kind of filling in that empty space. Whoops, why isn't that sticking? That's weird. There we go, it's sticking now. Okay. All right, so now that we have, that is funny, it's giving me a hard time sticking. It's weird. All right, so now we've got something there, and we were thinking about putting the tools here. But let's do a little bit, this is kind of straight, so let's do a little bit of a crooked cut. I don't really want it to be straight. So I'm just, you know, kind of moving my paper as I'm closing in on the blade. And of course it'll look cleaner and better once I trim all the edges. All right, so we got this page is pretty much done until I put some words here, and I think I will definitely put some words there. But let's go ahead and finish working on this page. So if these guys are gonna go here, what are we gonna put in the center there? Let's see. You know, I didn't think the pony would look good there, but he does not look bad. It's like a puzzle, you guys. Isn't it like a puzzle? It's kind of like they're walking at us. Yeah, they're walking towards the mini village. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. So we just need a little something here to go in there to take up some of that space. And I really like these brown words. So we're going to use more of those. Let's just put those back there and maybe down here. So let's do that. I should have put a little bit more of the stone on because there's a little spot right here that's exposed. And do I worry about it? Do I color it in? It's pretty small. You know, I think I'm not gonna worry about it. I think I am going to move forward. So we're gonna pretend this is here, and we're gonna place the ponies where we think they go. Okay, I like it like that. Actually, I think I want him a little higher and right here. Yep, that's exactly where I want him. Okay. All right, do we want a talking head sitting in the chair? Well, it's hard to know if he's not cut out, right? So let's see if we want just a head sitting on the chair. Let's put him there and see what we think. What do we think, guys? I don't know. I mean, it's not bad that he's sitting on the chair. I'd rather have something cuter on the chair though, honestly. All right, friends, I cut out a moth that was in some of the papers that Carol sent to me. So do we do him facing down? Nope, I think I like him facing up because it's like he's taking off for flight from the chair. So let's do that. So he's on there. Do we need anything else? Well, let's trim up the edges and then we'll see. All right, friends, let's put our words on and then we'll see if we're done with this collage. All right, my friends, I think we're done. I think this collage is in pretty good shape. I have a rogue piece of paper here. Let me get that off of there. A little piece here too. Okay, so we've got buzzing again. We've got our bird, and the guy is climbing up the bird. That is my honor to Carol. And our apple is here, and the bird is sitting on the apple, and there's the tools that made the apple. Then over here, we've got a guy that made it to the top of the mountain. We have our badger in he's chilling out in a hammock, and he's got his tea with him. And for no reason at all, we have a chair because I liked it. And then we've got our ponies, and they are traipsing towards the miniature village, and our giant moth is taking flight from the chair. There's no story here. It means absolutely nothing, but I like it. It entertains me. It makes me happy. So there is our collage. I hope you enjoyed spending a little time with me today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.